We have a lot to discuss ahead of the first ever presidential primary here in the state of Michigan in late February. Usually it's a few weeks away. We're going to discuss some polling, changes in the parties over time, and voting patterns. And we're going to do it with Dante Chinni. Is that how you pronounce it, Dante Chinni?
That's correct. Yeah.
Fantastic. We're 1 for 1 today. He's a research specialist at MSU School of Journalism, also the director of the American Communities Project. Dante, I want to thank you for being with us today.
I'm happy to be here.
Cool. Let's start with that right there. The American Communities Project. What exactly is that?
Well, the American Communities Project is a journalism research effort based at Michigan State University. And I'm at Michigan State about a week a month, but I'm in DC right now. And what we do is we take all the counties in the country, we use demographics to break them into 15 different types of place, 15 different types of community. And then we use those types to kind of try to understand and analyze what's happening in the country. Like when you break down the country this way, you see everything differently. Unemployment rates, definitely presidential results, median household income, all sorts of things. You understand kind of the diversity in just inherent in what the country is in a big, complicated country like the U.S.
If you hyperfixate that on the state of Michigan, is there any, when breaking it down by this group of 15 different categories, is there anything that immediately jumps out to you from the page that could help give us a better outlook at where this primary and really the 2024 presidential election could turn out?
Yeah, actually, there are two or three things really in the state of Michigan that are particularly interesting. One of them is where you all are in Grand Rapids, which is Kent County. Kent County has changed a lot. I'm sure you all know that. You live there over the past 10, 15 years. But it falls into this type that we look at called urban suburbs. So Kent County is one, and also Oakland County on the other side of Detroit. And they both kind of mirror this larger shift in wealthy places with lots of college degrees that have shifted Democratic. And that's what we're seeing in Kent County, and that's what we saw in Oakland County earlier. The other thing that I think is really interesting is there are a lot of these counties that we call middle suburbs in the American Communities Project, and that's Macomb County, that's Monroe County, that's actually going up north to Saginaw County, Genesee. And these places are kind of the other kind of suburb, really. They're more blue collar, fewer college degrees and lower incomes, and they're a real base of support for Donald Trump. In fact, you could argue that's how Donald Trump won the 2016 presidential election, and it's his chances really for winning 2024 hinge on those things. The other thing is college towns. You have a couple of really important college towns in the state of Michigan. You have obviously Washtenaw County, home of Ann Arbor, Ingham County, home of East Lansing, and then even Kalamazoo. These places are interesting because it's a place to really keep an eye on the youth vote and whether the 18 to 29-year-old voters come out. They are crucial to the Democratic Party, and whether or not they are engaged and ready to go vote, that's a big part of this election. Why?
The primaries, obviously, we know voter turnout is just a fraction of what we get in the general election. That's no surprise. That just kind of comes with the territory of the way these things work. But for those young voters, or really anyone who's thinking about going to the polls on Tuesday or submitting an early vote, you only really have a couple of options here. Whatever you vote doesn't actually choose a candidate. It just it decides where a certain number of delegates might go at the caucus convention. So why should, because it's so different than the actual general election, why is it so important for people to get out and vote in the primaries as well?
Well, I mean, first of all, just as a citizen, a good American citizen, it is your responsibility to vote. And you shouldn't vote without knowing what the heck you're doing. You should try to learn about the candidates, learn about the issues. But voting's important. And think about it this way: the primary vote is a way to it's an extra time to kind of register your voice, how you feel about things. And if you think about the election as like, we've started in January, we're moving toward November, where we're gonna figure out who wins this thing. This is your chance, kind of further upstream, to affect what your vote's going to look like in November. Who's even on the ballot? Now, is that to say your vote's going to determine that? No. But it plays a role, and it's important. And I also think, particularly when we're talking about this particular primary election, this is a very strange year. Normally, I mean, look, you said at the beginning, it is strange that the Michigan primary is this early. February is very early. And yet, we kind of already know, we think who the nominees are going to be. But there's an important part, I think, even if we get a sense that it's going to be President Biden and former President Donald Trump on the Democratic and Republican sides of the ticket. It's important to kind of register your feelings about that. So I think I would be shocked if Joe Biden didn't win the primary on the Democratic side. I'd be just as shocked, maybe more so, if Donald Trump didn't win the Republican primary. But the people who watch these elections and the candidates themselves and the campaigns are looking to see who turns out. So, if you want your voice to be heard, go vote, register a protest vote, or go vote for none of the above, which I know is something that could be going on the Democratic side. These are important things just to kind of have your voice heard. The campaigns are watching and they're listening, and what you do really matters.
Well, let's look at some of the trends here on that note, because I want to go back to 2016 in the presidential primary at that point. That's the last time Donald Trump ran, not as the incumbent. And if you zoom in here on this map to West Michigan, you can see that while Trump won the state as a whole, he didn't have the support that you might have expected to garner that win, especially here in West Michigan. He did not win almost a single county on this side of the state when you look at Kent, Allegan, Ottawa, Newaygo, Oceana, every single one of those counties siding with Ted Cruz over Donald Trump. In fact, Donald Trump didn't even finish in the top 2 in Kent County back in 2016. What can we learn about the way voters in 2016 decided and how that might impact us here in 2024?
Which has traditionally been a bastion of Republican support, was softening a little bit, or at least where Donald Trump is concerned, it was softening. The voters there weren't completely enthused about him. Now, look, Trump still won the election, obviously, in 2016. He won Michigan in 2016. But we saw in Kent County, for instance, those primary results were, I think, an indication that Trump was going to struggle in Kent County. Now, he still won Kent County in 2016. He did. But his margin shrank dramatically. And it was a sign, really, that the party on the western side of the state, now it's changed a little bit since then because Ottawa County has kind of become a different case, but Kent County in particular was becoming a different place. And it wasn't really in line with where the Republican Party was going with Donald Trump. And that has held true following 2016, looking at the 2018 gubernatorial race, the 2020 presidential race, and the 2022 gubernatorial race. You saw that, like Kent County, that's not to say that there aren't Republicans in Kent County, or Kent County still doesn't have very conservative elements to it. But this part of the Republican Party, the Donald Trump idea of the Republican Party, wasn't as strong over there. And you could see the early signs of that in that 2016 primary.
Which I think is especially interesting because 2016 was the only presidential election out of the last 8 where the state of Michigan sided with the Republican candidate over the Democrat.
Yeah, and if you there's a whole other set of data we could talk about there. Like when you look when you look at what happened in 2016, the Democratic vote did not turn out. And that, honestly, Donald Trump won the state of Michigan because Detroit didn't turn out, Wayne County, Washtenaw County. Again, we talked about these college towns, Washtenaw and Ingham. Young voters did not turn out. The African American vote did not really turn out. And that's, Donald Trump won Michigan in 2016 by about 11,000 votes. That's really, in a state of 10 million people, that is a tight margin. And that is really, a sign of how different that election was than obviously 2020 and those other elections talked about before then.
And that's why a lot of people consider Michigan as a state to be a swing state. I'm curious if we localize this a little bit, is there any county in West Michigan, especially, or even city that you think can have that swing effect on this election?
Well, Kent's going to be important. Look, Kent County is important. It is a big population center on the western side of the state. If this trend of it leaning Democratic in the general election reveals itself again in 2024, it's a very good sign for the Democrats. Now, it could be offset by things happening on the other side of the state, the eastern side of the state. There have been shifts as well. But I think even in the primary, the thing that's really interesting to keep an eye on is when you talk about that 2016 race, Donald Trump did not win Kent County. Ted Cruz did. But if you zoom in on Grand Rapids and East Grand Rapids, you see these really interesting findings that John Kasich won there. And that was really a sign that, like, okay, this is a very different kind of Republican here. This is a very different kind of Republican. This is a very different kind of vote, and they're not really happy with the direction the party's going in. I will keep an eye on those places again, actually coming up on Tuesday. What happens in Grand Rapids on the Republican vote, Republican primary vote? What happens in East Grand Rapids? These are areas that are full of, well, they've become more liberal, but the Republicans that are there are more moderate. And I would not be surprised to see that be a bastion of support for Nikki Haley on Tuesday. That does not mean Nikki Haley is going to win the state of Michigan. It may not even mean that she wins Kent County, but it's a sign that there is softness in that part of the vote for Trump.
We've never seen a primary this early in the state of Michigan, February 27th. We also, because of that, haven't seen the election process set up the way it is here in the state of Michigan for Republicans having both a primary and a caucus. That's never happened before. The way it breaks down really quickly, 55 total delegates to be dished out. The votes that come in, the early votes and everything counted on February 27th, that'll help decide where a pool of 16 of those delegates get dished out. But the rest will be decided, the 39 remaining, at those 13 different caucus meetings and then announced at the caucus convention. But there are two conventions going on. One on the east side of the state, hosted by Christina Caramo. One here on the west side, hosted by Pete Hoekstra. You're laughing. I think you're not alone when it comes to how people are reacting to this. Just getting away from the numbers for a second. If Republican lawmakers can't even find a way to unite within their own party, how are their constituents expected to do the same thing?
So I am interested to see what happens with those two conventions. I have a feeling we're not going to have two. I think there's a case going on, as you know, right now in Grand Rapids about who really is the rightful chairperson of the Michigan Republican Party. It's between Christina Caramo and Pete Hoekstra. Hoekstra, there's a part of the party that moved to push Caramo out. They pushed Hoekstra in. A court has to decide whether or not that was correct and proper. And I have a feeling we're going to have that ruling before the conventions, because we talk about those conventions, these 13 different conventions. They're supposed to happen in one place. Now, it looks like they might happen in two places. But right now, the Caramo convention, the Caramo Republican convention will be happening in Detroit at what used to be Cobo Center. I forget what it's called now.
Yeah.
And then out there, going to be having it in Grand Rapids with the Pete Hoekstra part of the party.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is going to be resolved by the time they have this. If this is not resolved by the time they have these conventions, or this is supposed to be one convention that's now two. If it's not resolved by then, that is a real problem, because how do you determine which was the real convention? And how, it's going to be a mess. My feeling though is it'll probably be resolved by then. Look, the Michigan Republican Party now, this is not the only place this is happening. This is happening all around the country. There are divisions within the GOP. There's divisions in all. And look, we have two major political parties in the United States. There are always divisions within them, but not like this. And it's not just Michigan. You're seeing the same thing in Pennsylvania. I think you're seeing the same thing in Wisconsin. It's these splits in the party where, like, will the real Republican Party please stand up? We're going to find out. I mean, what does it mean come election time? Look, we live in a culture right now. We're so divided into teams, the red team and the blue team, that I think when election day comes, most people just put their jerseys on and go vote for their guy. They're all pretty much guys at the presidential level. But will some, if they don't like the direction of the party, if they don't like the candidate, stay home or possibly switch? Yeah. But that has less to do with who's in charge of the party. It has more to do with who the nominee is going to be. And right now it looks like we have a pretty good sense, barring unforeseen circumstances, that we know who the two nominees are going to be.
Well, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, I think everyone can agree that Eminem reference was perfect here for the state of Michigan. For the Democrats' side, the primary won't necessarily impact what's going on there. It's all but over and won for President Biden. But you did mention something very interesting off the top, and this is something Democrats have to consider now, is the push from protesters to vote uncommitted rather than voting for one of the two candidates. And I'm curious how far you think that might actually go toward impacting his chances at winning the candidacy again.
Well, so he's going to win Michigan almost certainly, and I know I shouldn't say this because you don't never make predictions. I don't ever think you should make predictions. It's not our job as journalists. Our job as journalists and political research is to let the chips fall where they may. However, it seems highly unlikely it's going to upset whether or not Joe Biden gets the nomination. But I know that I'm going to be watching, and I think a lot of political observers are going to be watching on election night. How big is that, non-committed vote in Washtenaw County? How big is it in Ingham County, where you've got the two large college towns, which tend to lean a little further left on the war in the Middle East, which is what this is really about between Hamas and the Israelis. There's also the question of Wayne County, where Dearborn is. I do think the one thing to keep in mind, there's a lot of talk about what the Arab American vote is going to do, and it is not. Look, every vote matters. There are lots of blocks of votes that matter when in a close election. Everything matters, but the Arab American vote in Michigan is there are about 220,000 Arab Americans in Michigan. There's 10 million people in Michigan, so you're talking about less than 3% of the population.
Yeah, I was going to mention that even though they have the largest percentage of the total population compared to any other state in the entire country, it makes up less than 2% of the total population.
Yeah. So it's not likely going to affect. It's not likely going to impact. It's almost certainly not going to impact whether or not Joe Biden gets a nomination. But the thing to watch on Tuesday night is compare what you see out of the results in these key counties. See what you see in Washtenaw, Ingham, and in Wayne, and look, is the uncommitted vote really high? Is there a lot of unhappiness? Because, look, even if it doesn't affect whether or not Joe Biden gets the nomination, if you see numbers like that, if you see results like that, you're like, wow, the Biden team clearly has some work to do in these areas because they need to turn out their vote. And if you see a lot of kind of discontent and unhappiness in those places, that's something Democrats have to worry about because not that Democrat is going to, I will say for the record, a Democrat is going to win Washtenaw County in November. Democrat's going to win Ingham County in November. Probably Joe Biden is going to win Wayne County. But margins matter. And if they don't get enthusiasm out of those places, they don't turn out their vote, that's a problem.
And I'm glad you brought up margin, because if we go back to the 2020 presidential primary and we look at those exact counties that you just mentioned on the east side of the state where Detroit is, well, I don't know why it's not clicking on it. Okay, well, we got Macomb County. There it is. Wayne County, where Detroit is. Washtenaw County and Ingham County, where Lansing is. Biden, yes, he won all of these counties, but by a very slim margin, especially in Ingham and in Washtenaw County. Is that something they need to be worried about come the actual general election, or because these are more, like you said, young voter driven, metro, urban, and places near college campuses, do you not see that really having any major impact come November?
The big impact for Democrats, look, Democrats lean heavily on the youth vote. Democrats tend to lean heavily on the African American vote. It's not a question of whether they're going to win that vote. They're going to win young voters almost always. They're going to win the African American vote by large margins. The question is turnout. So if they're not getting the turnout they need, think about it this way. Hillary Clinton lost Michigan in 2016 by about 11,000 votes. There are hundreds of thousands of votes in Wayne County alone. If they had just turned out the African American vote, if there had been more enthusiasm there, she probably wins the state of Michigan. Now, there would have been other problems, or she wouldn't have going to win Pennsylvania. She didn't win. She didn't win in Wisconsin. But when you look at it through the prism of Michigan, she didn't get the votes she needed in terms of enthusiasm. She won these places, but you need, if you're a Democrat, you need to win Wayne, you need to win Oakland, you need to win Washtenaw, you need to win Ingham by big margins, because most of the territory in Michigan, just the acreage, the mileage, most of the counties in Michigan vote Republican, but the counties with the most people in them vote Democratic. So what Democrats need is to drive up as much as they can from those places because they need big margins there to offset all these small Republican advantages in rural counties.
Regardless of who wins in the presidential primary here coming up next week between Donald Trump and Nikki Haley, is there any reason you believe why Democrats shouldn't make it 8 out of the last 9 presidential elections and take the state of Michigan here in November?
You should, well, I think the Democrats should have learned in 2016 that you don't take Michigan for granted. They lost it. So I think that right now, look, it's February, right? The election's still a long way off. And I mean, we all think we know what's going to happen, but that's a long time and a lot of things can happen. If the Democrats, right now when you look at the polls, this looks like a close race. So Democrats should never take it for granted that they're going to win here, and Republicans should be fighting for Michigan because it looks like when you see elections this close, little things matter. They can bump you up, and you can win the state. Democrats better be working hard for it, and Republicans better be working hard for it too. It's a true battleground. It really matters.
I'll end it with this here. Is there if there were to be one thing that you would advise voters pay attention to during this primary election, what would that one thing be?
If you want to get a sense of where things are moving in the fall, the thing I would look at would be turnout. Is there a lot of enthusiasm for Donald Trump compared to what he got in 2016? Just how many voters come out? What does it look like? What does it look like for the Democrats? That's the biggest thing, because if you look at the total turnout, look, again, we think we know who's going to win both these nominations, right? If you look at what the total turnout is for Biden and the total turnout for the Democrats and the total turnout for Trump, you might get a sense of like who has the enthusiasm edge right now. And that's probably the most important thing.
Hey, back in 2016, that was when Michigan set a record for voter turnout in the presidential primary, 2.6 million voters. So we'll see if, I guess, that can be mimicked here this time around. Would be a good sign, I guess, for Republicans if that is the case.
Yep.
Dante Chinni, thank you so much again for joining us. We appreciate it. And I know you're going to have your eyes locked on what happens next Tuesday. Thank you for some insight ahead of that.
Well, thanks for having me.